Welcome to Formula World. I'm your host Dylan Shelley, and here's what's on this episode. First up on Formula World, Bottas. I'm going to beat everyone this year. Valtteri Bottas had a rather lacklustre year in 2018, and pressure began mounting on the Finn, and questions arose over his future at Mercedes. Nevertheless, Mercedes kept their faith in him, at least for one more season, and Bottas himself has come out saying he hopes to deliver above all expectations. After the 2018 season, I got to Finland, got properly smashed a few times, did anything I wanted to do basically. Then I got a camera, I started photography. It's like a new hobby now, so sometimes went for a walk somewhere and took pictures. I also travelled with my wife and some friends to South America just for a proper holiday. Didn't think about Formula 1. When I came back, I decided that I'm going to beat everyone this year. Red Bull deserved Baku Shitshow. As we edge closer to the start of the season, it seems every day more is revealed about how Ricciardo really felt about the situation at Red Bull that led to his leaving. And the latest is his description of how he felt the Baku incident was handled last season. Here are his thoughts on it. I struggled to let that go, the whole race and the aftermath. That played a part in my decision. I never really felt the same after that. As soon as I crashed into him, part of me felt, you guys deserve this was a shit show. If the roles were reversed, if I'd been in front and moved twice in the braking area and he'd run up the back of me, would things have been handled the same way? It was a question I kept coming back to. The team treated us both equally at fault in that situation, where I think deep down they knew that it was their mistake and Max's mistake. A lot of things didn't sit well. Verstappen, Honda gave us everything they promised. The whole of Red Bull has been very vocal about their positive relationship with Honda, and Max Verstappen himself is pleased with their ability to deliver on their word. Everything they promised is there. I'm glad about that. It is very different from the past few years. They are very open and honest. What they say, they also carry out. Of course, I have experience of the Renault and now this engine. The drivability is already much better, very flexible. Honda does much more on the dyno, much more than we used to. There are actually no restrictions. They do everything to win. Hopefully, we will succeed this season already. F1 will never attract new teams with current rules. F1 Managing Director Ross Brawn has been kept busy trying to sort out F1's future in regards to the upcoming rules and regulations. And a big topic at hand is the distribution of prize money and trying to make more parity by restructuring some of the bonuses, which see teams like Ferrari earning disproportionately more than the rest, regardless of on-track results. There's just too much disparity between the top 3 or 4 teams and the rest. There's a group of teams who in theory could finish last and still earn more than the team that wins the World Championship. That doesn't seem right. We have to recognise the special case of Ferrari, their history, the unique place it has in the sport, but we also need to find a balance. All the other teams recognise the importance of Ferrari, but you're never going to attract new teams when you have such an unfair distribution. Logic will have a fair part in the solution, but Ferrari are special, we all know that, and everyone understands they need to be treated respectfully. Fast feed. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko, when asked if both drivers would be treated equally at Red Bull, had the following to say. That stays that way, but what we've seen in test is that Gasly is not yet at the level of Verstappen. Alfa Romeo boss Fred Vasseur has called the current regulations in F1 unsustainable for at least 6 teams on the grid. Toro Rosso technical director Jody Egginton believes their chassis is probably the most complex we've done. Nico Rosberg, who raced alongside both drivers during his career, has said Lewis probably has a bit more natural talent than Michael. From Australia, there is officially 1 point up for grabs for the fastest lap of the race, with only the top 10 classified drivers being eligible. And F1 CEO Chase Carey has come out saying that he thinks there's room to add a bit to the race calendar. Should a point be awarded for the fastest lap of the race? Be sure to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And a special thanks to Blaze Hope and KC Croker for becoming members and helping support the show. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my other videos for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.